the button. I think you're gonna have to bring it back. I think it's a delay. We gonna get it right.
Ninjas gon' dig if you let them. Seen red flags when you met them. Knew you shouldn't have fed them. Ninjas gon' dig if you let them. If they all about checking, then you might have to dead them.
All right, there we go. What's going on, people? Go ahead. Come on, Bishop.
Yeah, you see that fade away, didn't you? We getting better, y'all. We getting better.
Come on. What's up, everybody? We on live. We on time. We've been on time for a minute right now. Welcome to the HUSL Hour. I am your host, the Deacon DeTravius Bethea, aka Wavy Trave, aka Trave, aka Boogie Winner. Well, I don't know. I got a lot of AKAs. I'm giving you all the AKAs because we got a special guest. He's a Wu-Tang fanatic. We're gonna introduce him. Then I got the co-host here right there, King BIngham, the Bingham, the Bishop.
AKA the Alpha and the Omega, the one who they killed but who's back. If we could go, AKA go read Revelations. That's a church joke, y'all. Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't get that. So we got to bring it to church.
The heathen.
So and we got a very special guest. We got one of the first and consistent supporters of the show, Corey, aka Monkey Blood. He spelled the name differently, so he switched it up on me. It's not so you see, he's from the Canopy Podcast. He's a Wu-Tang fanatic. He is the person that out of all the people I know, I've been knowing him for over 20 years now. It's been a long time, man. 25 years.
Man. You getting old, man.
Getting old, and he's been the same guy since I've known him. I mean, obviously he's more mature. He was listening to Wu-Tang way past when he shouldn't have been listening to the Wu-Tang. He was listening to all the affiliates. He basically is a fan of all the Staten Island because Wu-Tang put everybody from Staten Island had an album out, and Corey listened to all those albums. What's going on? So Corey, what's up, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. Thank you guys for having me on here. Appreciate this. But I'm doing good in general, Yeah, I feel like I got the wind behind my back these days a little bit, with my endeavors and what I've been trying to accomplish. So yeah, we're good.
Yeah, so tell the people, because you've been on my podcast. I've been on your podcast multiple times. You've been on mine multiple times, but you haven't been on a live. So tell the people a little bit about you that don't know you, that could be new, being introduced to you through the live.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, my name is Corey. I'm coming to you live from the beautiful state of Maryland. And I guess by trade, I'm a tattoo artist. But, as you mentioned, I've been, getting into these podcasts in these last few years. So I've been working at from the Canopy Podcast Network, going hard these last few years. And it's kind of interesting with that. We started, as an audio only network, and we have several podcasts under that umbrella. We've got the Bars Edition, which is a podcast about hip hop. We got the Game Barbecue Pit, which is a podcast about gaming. Then we got the Movie Massacre, which is probably our most consistent, most popular show, and we do film news and film reviews. And we've got I guess a couple other things that pop up, including the Cable Killers, where we talk about television. But we haven't done that one in a while, so I'm not sure about the state of that one. It may come back, it may not, but I don't know. We'll keep you aware of that, But that's about it, and an interesting thing is, I said we started with the audio version. This COVID kind of gave me time to sit back and actually experiment with doing video. So now all of our podcasts are now available also in video form on YouTube, and we're also experimenting with other type of content, to put together. So I guess maybe these last few years I've been working at trying to transition into becoming a content creator, and it seems like that fruit is starting to, bear right now,
Yeah, how long you been doing the podcast for? You've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah, this is our 4th year. It'll be in June. Yeah, we started. So this is the start of our 4th year. So,
I got a question. You keep saying we and we're and what y'all doing? Who's the we?
I've got each show on the podcast. I've got co-hosts. Some of them have several co-hosts, including the Movie Massacre. We got the homie Cornelius. We got Bobby Blockbuster. They come and talk about film. with me, and we got Rodney over there at the Bars Edition. We got Sean at the Game Barbecue Pit, and we got other Sean at Cable Killers. So I definitely would not be able to do this without them.
Okay, so that's your squad, your team, and let me ask you, who your attorney that's making sure all this intellectual property stuff is taken care of?
We gotta take care of that. I'm gonna have to talk to DeTravius soon because things are starting to get into motion with us. You know what I'm saying? We got.
So I'm gonna tell you about Corey, right? So behind the scenes, you know what? We didn't start with our sponsors. Who's sponsoring the show, Charlie? Can you hit us with our first sponsor?
The first sponsor is me. Charlie Bingham. Go to www.charliebinghamjr.com. You'll learn more about me. If you got any speaking opportunities, I like to speak to the youth and the young adults to kind of help make sure that they don't make the same mistakes that I made. That's kind of what my book is about, finding your purpose and overcoming mistakes and learning who you are, to realize, God loves you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made, and he could use you even if you are Jesse. Look, he using DeTravius and me, so if he could use us Jessies, he could use you. You just got to figure it out. And that'll be our sponsor for today. Y'all know about Bingham Ventures LLC, and don't give your kids a blue-haired, blue-eyed, blonde-haired book, because that does some stuff psychologically. Bible, if you want a children's Bible that's more accurately depicting of biblical characters, go to www.thelittlebrownbiblestorybook.com. That's a Black family-owned business. And we got other books, teach your kids manners, how to love themselves, how to love their hair, just dealing with a lot of the issues that us as grown folks now kind of deal with, especially those of us in corporate America. So that's it. That's the sponsor on my end.
All right, I'm sponsoring this thing. I got an ebook out there, 101 ways, the credit tip to fix your credit. I'm gonna put the gum roll up. Well, you go to www.social.thebethea.com/credit. You can get it there. If you use that link, you're actually going to get a discount. It's at a 25% discount. I had Charlie's up, but I deleted it by mistake. But Charlie, so put your link in the comments.
Wait, but hold up though. Why I see you, brother, applying the contagious. We're gonna get to the book review, but I see you applying some of the stuff you learned. Well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
I finished last night.
Where can they find your stuff at, Monkey Blood?
You can get to the main podcast at FromTheCanopy.com. We do got to flesh that out a little bit more, but we also have a YouTube channel From the Canopy Podcast Network. You can check it out there. I sent you the links a little while ago, so if you want to, I guess, share them throughout the show, as well as we're also on Instagram and Twitter. It's at From Canopy on Twitter and at From the Canopy on Instagram. So we try to stay active with there. Promote the show and and share the news. Things that we're going to be talking about on some of the shows too. So you kind of get a preview of what we'll be discussing on each of the episodes if you just, tune into those feeds.
Yeah, you spelled the deck. You put it in the private chat wrong. So you got the wrong banner going up. This is Jesse. So all right, let's hop into it. Let's start with the the light stuff first. The NBA, man. The NBA, man. Charlie, how you feeling about the NBA, bro? I know you hurt. You sold your Giannis yet?
No, and shout out to my childhood buddy Kyle Warren, because I'll be traveling. But if we make it to a game 6, I'm trying to put feet on the floor, go back home to Milwaukee on the 20th with my childhood best friend, and we sit feet on the wood. That is going to be a testament and a story to just how good God has been. But I'm about to go in. I'm going to try to keep it. I see our time, 9. I'm going to try to quit by 11. Man, it's a classic example of mediocre Huckabees getting positions that they probably didn't deserve. Man, if you look, and Kendrick Perkins has done a video on it.
Who are Huckabees? Never mind. Don't get fired, bro.
Coach Bud. So at the beginning, you know how they mic the coaches up. The beginning of game 1, this Jesse, his pep talk and strategy to his team is play fast, play random, and play together. Like, bro, this is the Eastern Conference Finals. You going against Chris Paul, and Chris Paul did exactly what I said he was going to do. Who the weak link? Oh, Lopez, you slow a foot. Every time I come down, whoever his man is, come on, set a pick, because I know they going to switch. I got Lopez on me, and I'm going to dance on this fool and just make him look bad. And if they happen to stop me, I could kick it out for assist for a wide open three because they're going to have to double team because this guy can't guard me. When you going against a point guard with that type of IQ, you cannot tell your team to play random. This is the finals. Are you kidding me? Like, man, and I feel so bad for Giannis. What you'll see, pay attention to the games. Giannis and Middleton can do what they do. The reason Middleton flame out is because he ended up bringing the ball up the court half the time because Drew Holiday, they point guard, don't bring the ball up. Giannis brings the ball up. Giannis should only be bringing the ball up when he get a rebound and it's a fast break. They're going to be tired come third and fourth because not only are they defending, they bringing the ball up and they trying to shoot. That's why Middleton's shots fall short. But it don't take a genius to see this. This dude, Coach Bud, is stealing money. And it's funny because when I was at the game, I was saying this stuff when they was playing against the Hawks. And it was this guy and his little son, about 9 years old, in front of me, and we was just chit-chatting. And finally, the young boy says, Dad, can I tell him? He's like, yeah, go ahead. He's like, actually, my mom works for Coach Bud, and we got these seats because of Coach Bud. And I started laughing, and then I looked at the dad and said, man, I said what I said. You know I ain't lying. I'm a basketball fan. This is a travesty. And he couldn't do nothing but laugh because it's true. That's my take there. I feel bad for Giannis because to come back from an injury and do what he doing and you just playing randomly, Coach Bud need to go.
Yeah, bro. You know we 60 minutes sharp, man. But go ahead, monkey blood.
I mean,
I feel like we problematic right here.
Yeah, I don't got no analysis, man. I definitely missed these first two games. I just saw, the highlights, but I don't know, dude. We got two teams that I don't think anybody expected, to be this far into the, to be in the finals. So it's crazy. So I don't know how that's affecting, the fanfare. I know it would be, significant for Chris Paul to get his first ring or even Giannis to finally prove himself, because he's got a lot of doubters. So I don't know, man. I'm just sitting back and watching it. I've been enjoying the playoffs as a whole. There's been some great games, mixed into this whole thing, if you've been paying attention. And I don't know. I can't call it right now,
Yeah, man. I just want all the people to know, like, the old trade, the old wavy trade would have been going hard on y'all. Because I told y'all who the MVP of the season was. I predicted a long time ago. And once I knew he was getting past Lakers, I said he's going to the finals. I said he winning the chip. I said he winning the chip in 6. He might sweep. I said this in the first round. So, Dan, I don't know where you at, white boy Dan. Huckabee Dan. If he watch, I don't know if he's watching. We got a group chat. He been doing hot takes all year. I've been saying like, because he hates LeBron. Like, and I love getting at people that hate LeBron. He hates LeBron. He always do it under the guise of I'm just being objective. You ain't Huckabee. You ain't being objective.
Oh my God! They shouldn't have never gave you a platform, man.
Yeah. So I would get at him, but I love Dan. I ain't gonna put his last name out there. I love him. He got some hot takes, and he got to get over. I don't know what LeBron did to him, but he got to get over it. And I told him, and I put on the Facebook. I said the real MVP of the league this year, when everybody was getting on the young light-skinned dude that didn't make the playoffs. I said the real MVP is Chris Paul, and he's going to win the championship. And I put it out there, and it's happening. So hopefully they can win these last two games. I can really go crazy. But
we gonna give you a cookie. I co-sign. He didn't say all of that, y'all. He did.
Yeah. So let's get to the before we get into the hot topic. Let's get into crypto because Monkey Blood been holding on to that crypto, man. He really believed in the crypto when Joel. Remember Joel? But Joel was just talking about it. Yo, you was really investing. How did you you do? Well, you don't got to tell everybody what you.
No. I mean, put it this way, man. Like I've been following your advice, which is definitely we need to get more into these investments in general. not just crypto, stock market, and all
Hold
that.
on. Let's pause for that. You've been following who advice? Say the
Following
name.
your
Say the
advice,
name.
man. The free advice you been giving out.
Who is you?
DeTravius, brother Trav.
You go. Hold on. Pause. We got his cash app.
I gotta do them too, man. I'm not warm in the room. I got the sunlight, it's just
Church.
Well, yeah, like we should.
So what advice? Hold on. What advice I was giving you? What advice have I been giving you? Hold up. Let's
diversify your bonds, man. That's what you say. Diversify your bonds. Basically, put some money to the side, man. Put something into these investments. Try to make your money work for you a little bit. And I think the crypto is a great opportunity. It kind of got a little lukewarm right now, you know what I'm saying? But a couple months ago, hey, I did good. I made a nice little bundle, you know what I'm saying? And then I reinvested it back in there, so I know, end of the day, things go bad or whatever. I got this I can fall back on, and it's also earning on the lowest. It's getting more money without me doing anything. Residual income, that's another trade. So, you know what I'm saying? Specialty. You got to get that residual income going.
Hold on.
Mailbox money.
I'll be listening.
Yeah, you be listening now, because sometimes I'll be like, because behind the scenes we got a group chat, right? With all. So Charlie, we went to the Art Institute of Philadelphia together, so we got a group chat with everybody. Well, not everybody, but a core group of people. And Corey, every time I tell Corey, he be anti. I be like, yo, Corey, learn about NFTs. I don't got no time to be learning about NFTs right now.
But I got a couple NFTs. But see, I got to push back on the surface a little bit. That's just in my nature sometimes. But I be listening. I be taking it in. When I go back and sit down and I act on it, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I would implore people to just look into it. Even I don't know how the blockchain works, to be honest. But I know if I buy low, eventually a lot of these things are going to get higher than what I bought it at, and then I can sell and collect some profits and have enough left over to put back in and try to repeat that process. You know what I'm saying? So like even stocks, I really don't know fully how it works. You know what I'm saying? I know if I buy
I'm gonna tell you a secret, man. And I'm gonna let the good bishop jump in. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. It ain't really a secret, but nobody wants to say this out loud. Nobody knows what blockchain is, yo. Like nobody knows the value of it. Like how it works. Like nobody knows. We are making this up as we go along. And I was so the way I messed up at, I said this multiple times. Where I messed up at early when I was going back and forth with Joel, we gonna call him Joel until he gets back on his podcast to redeem himself. And I was going back and forth with him in public. I was saying, crypto is not a currency. I can see it as a market and being a placeholder for value. But what I didn't do, I didn't start putting my money in there. This was years ago. So I had put a little like $100 in there, something like that, and then I lost my Coinbase thing. Then one day I downloaded the app and it came back. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Like years later. But anyway, so my pushback with him and what I told him on the show and privately, like, yo, you did publicly, y'all did a horrible job of selling this thing because y'all was selling it as a replacement for quote unquote fiat currency. It's not going to replace that. It's just another market, man.
Yeah. It's not going to replace it. I mean, I think what's going to happen eventually, you're going to get more use of it, in the public domain, but it's not going to replace cash. Cash rules. It's not going to replace traditional lines of credit and all that. But I think there is value in it, and even the thing that we were talking about, put you guys onto the AMP, you know what I'm saying? It was up at one moment, it kind of cooled off a little bit, but I think it's going to surge again. But even that has a use, like you look at AMP, that's a way where you could spend your crypto at, I think right now they've got 40,000 businesses signed up, where if you go do the due diligence and link it to the right apps, you could, link certain, you can link your Bitcoin wallet to it, Ethereum or whatever, and make purchases out there in the real world with it. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's not going to replace, traditional ways of purchasing things, but I think it's going to take up a significant amount of the market to make itself viable, to make it, make it use for itself, so to say, and there's a learning curve, man. I know we probably all holding some safe moon and we don't know what we're going to do with that, but that's one of the ones that we jumped on because of the hype. But, if you do the research, there are some really legit coins. I mean, Bitcoin is one of them. I get frustrated with it because Bitcoin drives the entire market. Even though there are coins that are, doing well independent of Bitcoin, it still kind of sucks because if Bitcoin's down, then it drags everything down with it. But things like Ethereum, just do your research, man. There are probably a handful, at least 10, 15 coins that are solid that I know if I put money into it now, 2 years from later, more likely I'm going to be on a high end of profit, like on a nice end of profit. You know what I'm saying? Without really, I don't think it's taking a dangerous risk. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're messing around with this stuff, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. I'm not saying this is the end all or be all, but it's just like anything else. And what Trave always says, diversify. So if you take a hit over here, it's not going to kill you because you've also got some money in here and over here, and it's going to balance out. And ultimately, you'll probably be on the profitable end. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with this stuff. If you've got enough, stuff spread out and, in the right investments,
I'm looking for my password for Coinbase. This question is you, DeTravius, so I can put it in and see. I know we was pushing ADA.
So ADA been I think it's up since we've been pushing it. I've been
trying to put money in every week.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing.
So that's another thing to do. Because I think what our people fail to realize is they think you got to have all this money to put in. Like, I just set up a reoccurring, just with Dogecoin. I know people say it's a joke, but there's money to be made off of it. You know what I'm saying?
You made a killing on Dogecoin. Y'all was killing me. I was hating y'all almost left the group chat when y'all was telling me how much money y'all made on Dogecoin.
Yeah, it did me right. But I set up a reoccurring thing. All right, $15 a week. I'm just blindly. Whatever the price is at the moment, that's going to come out. It's going to automatically build through my Coinbase account. So, and that's going to build up eventually. It's just like it's like Acorns and things like that. Even like there's so many tools now to make this stuff so much easier. Like, I love Acorns, man. Acorns is great. Basically, it's rounding up based on your debit purchases. And so say you spend $6.55 on something at the gas station. It's going to take that other 45 cents and round it up and deposit that into your Acorns account, man. So next thing you know, man, 6 months from now, depending on how you set it up, you got like $600 sitting in there. And that's perfect. Emergency funds or whatever. Or you just leave it there and let it keep accumulating. But there's ways where you can you don't have to have a lot of money to start investing in this stuff. That's the main point. It's basically money you would throw away on a beer at the bar or something like that, So look at it like that, man. That's what I've been trying to do. It's helping me out a lot in life when I'm looking at things that seem complicated on the surface. Break it down into its smallest parts, man, and start chipping at those. The next thing you know, you did something big.
Who told you to do that too? Who told you to do that?
I don't know, man. I've just been doing it.
I'm gonna take the contrarian approach to something y'all both said. I'm gonna play y'all role. That's the play. Get that cash out. He is a good attorney. I don't care what nobody say. I think the world is tired of America and they crap, and cryptocurrencies is a way for some of these smaller countries to kind of slowly disconnect themselves from the American dollar. Because right now, when you travel, the exchange rate, I think everywhere except for maybe China, which is why Trump had issues with them, the American dollar going to exchange for way more of their money than it does ours. China and probably like the UK or whatever, but I think they kind of close. I think this is a strategic way for them to slowly disconnect from, America's finances and move toward independence, and we'll have a new world leader and give it 10, 20, 30 years. America better hold on. They can't afford to make more mistakes like Donald Trump, where you got an idiot like that in office. That's going to be very problematic. I think we either going to have to progress as a country together, or we're going to find ourselves behind, because most of these other countries is unified.
Yeah. So I don't agree with that take.
Wait, say that again.
I don't disagree.
I don't agree with that take.
You mean you agree? Not I don't disagree. Just go ahead and say you agree, Deacon.
I agree.
It's so hard for them, y'all. That contrary nature is in them.
Now, what I was going to say is that the world been trying to get off because the dollar is the standard for the world, right? So the world, especially China and especially like the UK and the European Union, when it did exist, they've been trying to get off the dollar for years, like, you know what I'm saying? So if crypto is another way to do it, I mean, I definitely see it being it playing a part, but I just don't see, because when I'm saying fiat money, I'm not even just talking about dollars. I'm just talking about other countries' money too. I don't see it replacing government money at all.
I would get worried if the cartel adopted crypto. You know, you know what I'm saying? Because if that's going on, then it's a different game to me. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, cash still rules. But if you get to the point where they adopting it, then yeah, you're probably looking at the change of guard. And the only thing too that's wild to me is you know, there's this kind of rumor that China is trying to develop a state cryptocurrency. You know what I'm saying? A state digital currency. And, you know, there's a rumor that might be why they've been cracking down on, you know, Bitcoin mining and all this stuff. Because, I mean, think about it. On paper, China should be leading the world. Like we don't manufacture anything as America. All we export really is entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
We owe them. So how our money rule? Like,
so they got all the manufacturing, and they've got probably the biggest crop of new billionaires, probably besides India, you know, in the world economy. So and I feel like we're, you know, them being not first place in the world economy has kind of been artificially manipulated to enforce that. You know what I'm saying? And sooner or later, man, we're not going to be able to hold them back forever. And I think that's where
I agree. I agree with you, Corey, on if the cartel adopts it. And shout out to DeMar. He just posted a link.
Yeah, don't get that man government name out. He DM Butler, yo. That's what he got.
DM Butler, my bad, G. I know Butler ain't getting in no trouble, but I forget the name of the Netflix show, but it was like a documentary or something like that. Mm-hmm. You also got to be concerned. Once the porn industry adopts something like that, it's gone.
They're doing it. Like, it's crazy. I've been on some, like, not porn, but other retailer sites and like buying like things. Maybe not an Amazon.
Nah, you've been on the porn. Go ahead with the example. We ain't judging you right now.
But that's not where I saw this at though. I'm talking about like a e-commerce site, you know, people selling, you know, you got your bootleg Amazons and Walmarts and stuff now, but they're offering discounts if you pay in Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So Corey, let me ask you this, Corey. What is Pornhub's crypto?
I don't know, bro. Like I don't do that. I use other sites. You know what I'm saying? No.
All right, let the usher come through. All right, have your seats. Have your seats. Be quiet. Keep it down. Keep it down.
I don't use the hub. I use other sites, but and they're not paying me to talk about them. So
right. Oh, there you go, right there, brother. They ain't paying you to talk about them, so forget them. Trav, next topic, please.
Yeah, next topic. Yeah, because we got a hard stop. All right, let's go win the hot topic. Issue right now. You gotta put some respect on Judge Joe Brown name, yo. So Judge Joe Brown versus Lamont Hill. Mm-hmm. Do y'all know what's going on? Nah, so Charlie, play the clip. Hold
all right, you gotta bring it up and highlight it. Yeah, make us go away. Let's show the people
reality. So let me ask you a question. When George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin and the jury found him not guilty, do you feel that the black community should not have continued to express outrage and call George Zimmerman a killer because under the law he was innocent?
They should express outrage with themselves for lacking such political influence in the selection of the district attorney or in the even weight assigned to them. See, the rules are the same. But from my perspective, I think of all the black folk that have called me over the last 35 of jury service, all of the black folk that voted a handout where you've got a racist idiot on that handout for judge and they don't even pay attention to who's on the ballot. I think of all of the black folk who don't go out and vote for sheriff or effectively for mayor or for the district attorney and complain about it. See, when you have an opportunity to do something about it, do it. And see, most of the people that are off in the penitentiaries are not in there for playing Robin Hood. They rob from their neighbors, burglarize their neighbors, kill their neighbors, rape their neighbors, sold poison to their neighbors. And the other thing is, it's not guns, It's not any excuse. It's we have got a lack of manhood and masculinity in our neighborhoods. See, masculinity is the imposition of a set of behavioral standards on a boy. So when the boy grows into a man, he has some things he has to do that he cannot get away with, that he is compelled to look to, making where he lives a better, safer, more secure place, filled with economic prosperity, sense of purpose, morality, and ethics.
Yeah, you did a switcheroo on me, man.
No,
I thought you was
I feel like I got the point what he was trying to say.
that was the clip.
I thought you was gonna play the earlier part.
He pulled the Cosby.
What do you think about it, Deacon DeTravius?
Yeah.
So I thought you was gonna play the earlier clip, man, when he was when they specifically said something about Cosby. So what I think about it, I think what is BNC? I've never even seen that before. I don't even know what that is, but it was a network.
Is it BNC or DNC? Oh no, it is BNC News. I don't know.
I never heard of that.
But stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused. So the judge, I don't like. Well, I respect what both of them were doing as far as like feeding their audience, but I think so. This is my general opinion on them, and then I'm gonna tell you on the topic. But I respect what they're doing as far as like getting the bag and getting them clicks and all that. But I think I respect Judge Joe Brown more because I think he really believes what he says. I don't know if Michael Lamont Hill believes everything that he says versus he's feeding the crowd and getting his clicks up and getting his money up. So I'm not mad at him for that. So what I thought you was going to play, what I thought I was going to react to was this idea of the law versus your opinion,
morality,
and your politics, right? Because Judge Joe Brown, when he was discussing with Michael Lamont Hill was talking about his politics. Judge Joe Brown was like, nah, we talking about the law. He was just checking them. So I thought you was gonna play that, but you played that for a reason. So I'm gonna hand it over to you, Bishop. Well, why you played that specific part for a reason? Yeah, why did you play that part?
That was the part we had agreed on. But I got to queued up the legal part. But I thought we wanted the part where Mark Lamont hit him with, like, well, yeah, you're right. Legally, it could have been wrong, but morally, should we as a community demand more or do something about it? And then he used Joe Brown responded like, no. He pulled his Cosby, and then Lamont came with a good example. Like, well, what about George Zimmerman? He was found to be not guilty. Should we be enraged and call him a killer, or should we let it go? And then that was what we just watched, where Judge Joe Brown went on his old folks Cosby thing. Like, basically, we got to do more. And to some extent, I agree with him as a community. I think what he was saying is, we always reactive. We got to be proactive. We got to be proactive and decide, no, you're not going to come into our community and be the sheriff. We're going to use our voting powers. We're going to use our research to figure out who really for us and who ain't, and we're going to vote and use that collective power. I think I agree with you, DeTravius, regarding Lamont. I don't know if he believe it or not, but what we going to do as a community? Put Cosby in jail? After this time, like, you an old man, and he called him a predator as if he gonna continue to do it. Now this stuff is out there. Ain't nobody going close to Cosby, and if you do, I forget who it was.
I mean, he had a team that I've been seeing running around with him lately, including a woman, and I'm like,
yeah, she a Howard. His old lawyer was a Howard.
She bad.
I've been seeing this white lady running behind him in these clips they showing him lately. But I definitely I also agree with Joe Brown to a certain extent. But also, what if you're in a community where no matter how you vote, you don't have the numbers to change what's going on in that community? You know what I'm saying? Then what do you do? You know,
and a lot of black people find themselves in that situation.
Yeah, then what? Like he's leaving out that little bit of nuance. You know, like that situation might be true in some cities, but it's not going to fall in line and change, you know, the status quo in every community. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I'm gonna give you a solution. Move to the hood just like they do and gentrify it, where you got the numbers, because you know it's underinvested, underfunded, and everything. So it should be cheap. You probably gonna have to get a bunch of bars on your windows and cameras, and make sure you got a garage to hide all your stuff, because you know when you move in them places, they looking like, oh, Monkey Blood having a good Christmas. I had to go get that crypto wallet off that player.
I had to get that crypto wallet. No, I'm gonna tell you just to go back at the 360 joint. Once the hood figure out cryptocurrency, and then it's a wrap. Because we go hard on everything.
Yeah. I
mean, 88, that's where we at. 88. That's the crypto ticker. Go get it.
So, I mean, all right, put it this way, man. Like, I look at this Cosby thing, it's like, all right, we didn't get him. And honestly, he was not going to be got. If you look at really what's going on with this case, way before he even got taken a trial or whatever, you got to look at the laws that are on the books. The only reason this prosecutor tried to try him in Philadelphia is because the California cases, all of those went way beyond the statute of limitations. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you're going to have to be reactive.
Even the PA case was beyond the statute of limitation, but they brought it back. Yeah, they did all types of stuff to get this man. But
yeah, they were trying. So he probably was never going to get justice for whatever he did. He was never going to pay for that, to be honest, man. If you ask me, any of that. But I think what can be used, like this can be a highlight to maybe get the things changed so this doesn't happen in the future to other victims. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Brown is right. You know, we're being reactive a lot of times, but sometimes that's all we got. You got to see the things play out to notice there's a problem and be like, yo, how can we change this? And laws can be changed. You know what I'm saying? That's like, we know this. We got how many amendments to the Constitution? You know, so things can be changed. So, but I think, you know, we gotta, stay vigilant in that regard. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I want us to keep this same energy. I remember about a year or 2 years ago, it came out that and I think she confessed it herself, the lady that started that got Emmett Till killed was living a peaceful life and just felt free to come out and say, yeah, I did it. And he was innocent. We didn't have the same energy as a community. And that's the part, putting on my Hotep hat, that's the part that bothers me. Like,
brother, good old brother Hotep.
Our own people, but sometimes we just let other people make it. We'll continue to watch the movies. I forget the Huckabee Hollywood producer that like adopted a little girl from somewhere overseas, took advantage of her, and then married her afterwards, and then ran overseas. We still watch his movies. We don't have no problem.
Now, you know what? I'm gonna push back on you. We ain't watching the movies, bro. We don't watch his movies.
We watching them. We watching them. Those of us that love the Huckabees and we watching them. Trust me.
What's his name? I know exactly who he is, but I don't think we his demographic, bro.
But there's a part of our demographic that love anything that wins an Academy Award or a Globe, whatever. We just got to go watch it. We watching. Don't let the people fool you. Not the Keishas and the DeTraviuses, but the Sarahs and they watching. They watching. Yeah. Those of us who like to conform, who are cool with conforming and assimilation, they watching. You got to, because that's part of common conversation when you move in those different circles to know certain key videos and all of that stuff. We watching.
I got a question.
In the Elvis.
See, we got a little bit of time. I don't know if this is on the schedule, but I got a question. So, there's this discourse going on, like, I mean, on the the social media streets right now regarding I guess what they would call certain works depicting the black struggle as black torture porn, specifically things dealing with slavery or racial tensions that might have got violent. And how do you feel about that? Because me personally, I feel like these works need to be out there, man. Like I'm thinking specifically, like recently there was a story to show them on Amazon, and one of the problems came. It's a black family that moves to this community. They flee the South, because of the racial tensions there, and they move to this community. They're the first black family on the block, and immediately they face opposition. And, a lot of people were, up in arms about that. It's like, this is just black torture porn. Why do our experiences always got to be the negative? But also, one aspect of that show that, I actually watched it. I didn't think it was, what the people were saying, but they showed that aspect of the redlining, and what they did in those communities, to keep us from moving in there, blockbusting and all that stuff. And I don't know. For me, I like seeing this stuff. I like seeing the struggle that my people went through. I find strength in that. I don't look at it as a negative, but a lot of the discourse is like, I guess, some people feel embarrassed or they feel a kind of way about it. And I don't know. What do you guys think about that? As far as things.
I'm gonna hop in first because I think I addressed this on the last show, and I addressed this like 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago. I want more movies about the struggle being made. And people be like, yo, when I said it before, they was calling me Negro Pen, a coon. They was calling me they was calling me whatever, sell out, whatever. And the reason I said this, and I think I said that I addressed it the last show too, is that most people are not going to read a book. Most people are not going to watch a documentary. So the way you're going to have to educate people is through films, right? That's however it's going to play out through films, television, and that medium is powerful in the sense that most people sit down and watch TV. You know what I'm saying? And sit down and watch. And most people go to the movies. And now that the movies closed down, most people got Netflix or whatever streaming service they have. So that is the medium that you're going to, quote unquote, educate people. My only issue is, I think, along with the struggle stories, show a variety of struggle stories, or show like the hero stories. Like, don't just show. And I don't even think that we're just showing the struggle shows. I think those are the shows that, because Charlie brought this up before, I think in a couple episodes, those are the shows that we want to get up in arms about. It's mad black content out there that we're not supporting. And I think Charlie, you were saying something last week about some show that we should be supporting that I never even heard of until you said something about it. And it was just like,
it's the Black Woman Sketch Show, which I thought is hilarious. But my take on what Monkey Blood says is real simple.
Monkey Blood, that sound mad problematic. Saying
I mean, Corey, I just looked at it.
I'm calling him Monkey Blood too, but it sounds mad problematic on this show.
Too, though.
Look, mine is I love Django. Long as we win, I love Django. All the rest of them, we learn about slavery. That's probably the only thing that they're going to teach us to keep us subservient in the American educational system. We learn all about slavery in the American educational system. They trying to change some stuff now. But yeah, I'm good. I forget the name of, is it Lena Waithe? She had the Queen Slim, had me all excited. In the preview, they showed a guy shooting the cop. I'm thinking it's Bonnie and Clyde. Then you get to the end, and we get booked off and sold out by our own people.
Hold on. Y'all can't talk at the same time. I can't.
How did you think that was going to end, though? Because I watched it. And,
I was hopeful. That's why I went. I was hopeful. From the trailer, you gave us hope, and then you snatched it away. Like The Birth of a Nation by, what was it, Nick Parker? And they tried, our people canceled that for him too. Like
Nate Parker.
Nate Parker, like, yo, man, y'all tripping. Birth of a Nation.
He got himself in a way, because I mean, honestly, I remember when that came up, and that was the thing that honestly, this term, black torture porn, that's when I first noticed it, when that film was out there. And I thought, like, if he would have probably handled that differently, maybe just not even commented, said, I'm sorry, and then just be quiet, and it probably would have, wouldn't have been as crazy for him. But
you know why? I'm gonna tell you why.
He learned his lesson. Leave the Huckabees alone. No, he didn't, because I think.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it wouldn't have been good for him, because black women got on it.
Yeah,
black women they was going hard. Like, and black women run social media.
He was done.
Yeah, black women
and his little movie. Look,
that's
your little cute movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie and I didn't, whatever was going on. Like I said, like you said, the controversy of it, just took over a life of its own. But I see that same thing happening with other films. I mean, you look at Harriet Tubman film that came out a couple years ago. And I watched it. I thought Cynthia and Revo did a good job, but I felt like that film was neutered because it was listening to this voice that didn't want to see the like. I feel like, you know, they left a lot of stuff out of that film that should have been in there to appease the people on Twitter that were barking the most, who aren't even going out to see this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I like Harriet Tubman too. I don't need us being beat and what we got. Kunta Kinte for that. We done seen all of that. Here's the thing: psychologically, what I like to guard against is this self-hate that seems to creep into all of the movies, whether you realize it or not. It's always one of us turning on one of us. You had Samuel L. Jackson in Django. They could have got away if it wasn't for him without fight. What is you doing, Jesse?
But that's test stuff out, man. You got to test it out.
In Birth of a Nation,
yeah.
Look, in Birth of a Nation, they would have got away. But for what? Your people. In Queen Slim, you might have got away. But for what? Your people. And what that psychologically makes us do, which I don't think other groups kind of worry about, is we always second guessing. In the back of your mind, you think you a fool if you fully trust your people. I don't like that being put into us program, whether you realize it or not. And who was it? DeTravius, get the collection plate, because you said this before. I forget the comedian, but he was like, I love black people. I think it was Chris Rock.
So like, I guess
ninjas. Yeah, and quietly that's put into us, and we see that with the Sha'Carri situation too, with people picking sides because they done already labeled her based on how she looked a ninja.
Yeah,
she do look like a ninja.
But the thing that gets me, I could understand if these things were the only things being put out, but like DeTravius was saying, there's so much of this black content, like even on Netflix, you know, people try to exaggerate, be like, highlighting black excellence and it's all the slave movies. No, if you really look on those things, there's so much material in there. We got the new Kevin Hart, the fatherhood movie. You know, like all kinds of things. They had a Christmas thing. What was that? Jingle Jangle. You know, like it's.
I love Jingle Jangle.
They like to zero in on these things that make up a small amount of the overall material, black material that's available out there. You know, so. But
Corey, in fairness, until probably the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm a place this on The Godfather, Clarence Avon's daughter hooking up with the guy from Netflix. Until Netflix, the majority was. We look across the spectrum, and if we was to do the research, most of them probably were movies that we wasn't really trying to see, the blockbusters. But we got to move on, though. DeTravius, you're supposed to be the host.
I was about to
I'm looking at the clock, man. I'm looking at the clock. So we got Skip. So Corey, we got to bring you back. So we got to do the book review.
Is that the Mr. Big song, Contagious? Is that about the making of that album?
No.
This on the Nipsey Hussle book reading list and the DeTravius and Charlie BIngham book reading list, though. But it's a great. You want to talk to him about it, DeTravius?
Yeah. So Contagious. The way we got
this Jesse.
What?
Look, y'all. The Jesse, we always try to do a book review. He want to laugh at my Cricket Wireless. And Jesse, get your Walmart mic together.
Hey,
we still can't hear you, Jesse. Anyway, so y'all, Contagious is a book about marketing, how to make you. We still can't hear you, brother. We're gonna let you know.
What's going on with your mic?
Yo, that Jesse be having jokes for me, so I have to give it to him when I can. When he had these.
Did we mute him? Your mic is blanked off.
No, he's the host. We can't mute that, Jesse.
There you
go. So yeah. So what happened was I kicked the mic out, moving back. I kicked the wire out. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, this book is perfect for anybody who wants to learn about how to spread ideas.
I got notes too. Yeah.
increase their brand awareness or grow their customer base. In it, he tells you how he's looked at the science of what makes things go viral, and I'll let DeTravius hit his notes on that.
Yeah, so basically the way we got to this book is through the previous book was Nipsey Hussle's book. I don't know the title of it. It's not The Marathon Continues, but it's something like that. But yeah, and Nipsey Hussle was very inspired by this book. So we said while we was listening to this book, like, yo, this Charlie idea, he didn't read it last week, but we're here now. And he was like, yo, we're gonna talk about Contagious. So basically, this guy, he's a professor's named Jonah Berger. I'm pronouncing it right. And he's a professor at Wharton Business School. And basically, he gives examples, and like exactly what you're saying is like, how do you make things go rival, be contagious to the public? And he just gives like some tips, right? Or like this, it's not even tips, it's backed by science. So one of the first things he said you got to give people something that they identify with that they're going to share. So get yourself off of you. So he said people like to share things about themselves. The tips he says surprise people with something new, and they are more likely to share it. So people get bored. So like that's clickbait and all that type of stuff. Those are the type of things that are scientifically based that people are going to click on because it's science behind this. It's not just, and he gives you all examples. It's been like a week since I listened to it, 2 weeks actually now. What was one of the examples he gave? I forgot. I should have wrote it down.
You act like I read it.
Now I'm talking to Bishop. Bishop, you on mute. You talking about me?
Oh,
Deacon, you on mute.
Look, that's probably best I was on mute because I just called you a Jesse. So, because he said he had notes, I'm thinking he had it. So there's 6 principles. There's social currency.
Now, I asked you for an example, Bishop.
I'm about to give you an example. People like to talk about things that make them look better. So in their casual conversation, they more likely to recommend something or talk about something if it make them look intelligent, if it make them look cool or whatever it is. Like y'all could go and talk about this podcast. Like, hey, did you know DeTravius and Charlie and Corey, they did a podcast and they was talking about cryptocurrencies. They could be in some type of conversation with people who may not be as familiar with cryptocurrency and say, you want to get a real take for some real brothers and it's live and it's funny, go check out the HUSL Hour. That makes that person look good, like they know something that the other person doesn't. So they're more likely when they're triggered. And what would be the trigger? That's the second one. So that's an example of social currency. The second principle is trigger. So what would trigger somebody to talk about this podcast? They may have somebody who auntie or a grandma or somebody who say, I want to get some cryptocurrency. I want some of that Bitcoin.
You know what's going to be triggering? It's saying that Cosby don't need to be in jail. That's triggering.
Yeah, and then you can say, they talk about that. Go get the hot take. And they commented on Judge Joe Brown and Lamont Hill. So that's something. The point of it is you want to get people to freely do it without paying them. Use their word of mouth to talk about your product, your brand, or whatever themselves. And you have to give them motivation to do that. So it's social currency, triggers. And we all know this one. We saw Trump use this very well with the Republican Party. Emotion. Fear causes people, like, let's say, fear of the vaccine or something like that. Like, man, don't go get that Pfizer. You didn't hear this? Ain't nobody ask you that. But if somebody is talking about, you may just freely, without a trigger, say, look, I heard that Pfizer vaccine will mess you up. Don't go get that Pfizer vaccine. You freely offering that. It gives you that social currency because you know something that this person doesn't necessarily know. But that's something that would make you freely do it. Then he talks about making your product or brand public. Make it something that, people ain't got no choice but to do it. And he talked about like voting campaigns. One of the things is people didn't know who was voting until they made the little sticker like I voted. And we've seen this on Facebook. Everybody want to post a picture with their little sticker now. Well, I got an idea. I'm about to put it out there. I don't care if it's stolen. But let's talk about it, brothers. I want to get a sticker for I supported a Black-owned business. And
I did today.
As a Black-owned business, that could be something that you give also with the receipt. And let's see how many people post those pictures. Let's make that go viral. But you can't bootleg this. DeTravius, we're gonna have to get on the trademark right away. We're gonna get you Russ to design the sticker.
The Black business I supported today. I'm gonna post.
So let's continue though. So let's get through the 6.
Oh, okay. So that's making it public, and then it gotta have practical value. Yeah, it got to help somebody. And then the last one is, it always helps if he uses this great example of the Trojan horse, the story of the Trojan horse. You want to create a story, but the person can't tell the story without talking about your brand, but you want to kind of slide it in there. Those are the ways to make things contagious and go viral. And it's like a marketing technique. So we're going to try to use some of that and apply some of this stuff as we go. Once DeTravius get his notes together.
Yeah.
Hey, when is that?
So on closing, let me repeat them two back to the people. So it's social currency. So that's, you got to make things. It got to be something that's special in people's eyes. So I like to think of it. I like to think of logos. Like, you know what I'm saying? This joker right here, he talking about Black business. What type of glasses you got on, brother?
What, these? So you talking Corey, right?
I'm talking to you. I'm talking. Corey don't got no glasses. I
don't got no glasses. I got to order.
I know, Corey. I know that. I'm just messing with this, Jesse. Don't hate me. That I don't know. They look like they designed by a Black person. Let's just. He know what kind of glasses I got.
Is there a Black glasses company? I don't think there is.
Glasses. What type of glasses are them, bro? Show me what type of glasses. So you want some? You on the Hotep joint? What type of glasses
came from the diaspora?
That was so the Gucci joint. So that is social currency. Gucci has social currency, right? So then trigger it, like, you know, you see the when emotion, trigger and emotion go hand in hand, right? Something can't be triggering if it's not emotional. So we get an example of like just saying Cosby out of jail. So that's social currency, triggers, emotions, public. So public, obviously, it has to. You gotta. If you're not doing it, you gave the example of the sticker. If you're not public, then he gave the voting thing. Then it's not gonna catch on. Practical value. People like to share thing that helped them out. And stories been around for thousands of years, and that's how traditionally people pass down wisdom anyway, was through stories. And that's the 6, man. So do we have any questions? It's quiet in the chat today, but I saw more visitors online. Than
you know what though? Like I was out and about earlier before this. People was out. They probably not even home to be able to see this, but you know, they can watch it later. So I think that's what's going on.
So Deacon, you gotta take us out, man. Take us out with the prayer, brother.
Oh, you still want me to take you out in prayer after you kick me to the side? You kicked me. You got a hard stop at 60 last week.
You got a hard stop at 60 minutes. Go ahead, man.
All right. Heavenly Father, we just come to you at this time, thanking you for being the awesome God that you are. We thank you for this platform that we have to try to spread positive messages that will influence our people. We just pray that you allow it to grow if it be your will. Be with us. Help us to continue to learn and grow in wisdom. Be with our audience and allow them to continue to learn and grow in wisdom as well. In your precious Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And we
didn't even hit the Cash App this week.
We ain't hit the Cash App. We gotta hit the Cash App. Everybody hit our Cash App.
We gotta do it.
Monkey Blood Cash App. And thanks everybody for tuning in. And especially thanks to people that's gonna catch this on replay. Follow us on all our social medias. All that information is in the show notes. And yeah, definitely hit them Cash Apps. So mine is $D Bethea, DBETHEA 2008. Charlie Bingham's is $The King Bingham, BINGHAM, and Monkey Blood is Cash App. I mean $.
On the screen, you can see it.
MUNKYBLUD. There you go.
Corey, I gotta say it for
origins
of Monkey Blood at some point.
I'll say it to you one day, but
yeah, Monkey Blood. That was one of his Wu-Tang names.
I made my own nickname, yo. Who does that? Who makes their own nickname? Usually the community gives you that, but I made my own.
I like it.
All right, folks. All right, until next time. Peace.
All right, peace.